Damon Martin, MMA fighting here with one of the top featherweight fighters in the world, coming off a huge win over Edson Barboza. Not just a win. Let me correct that. Not just a win, a knockout win over Edson Barboza, which is a very, very big deal. And welcome back today, the great Giga Chikadze. Giga, welcome back and congratulations on an amazing performance.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Damon.
So obviously we talked before the fight, and I knew you were confident going into it. Did the fight play out kind of the way you imagined it would?
Yes and no. I didn't think that Edson was going to be so strong, so big in the fight. Other than that, everything went the way I planned. Just the size and his power was definitely a different thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you, obviously we know what Edson does well. He kicks very strong. He's got great striking in his own right, but you kind of marched him down. I will say again, I know you respected his striking, but obviously it seemed like you were not, and I know you said this before the fight, you weren't afraid of anything he was going to do. Did that kind of play out the way you imagined it would in terms of exchanging strikes with him? Because obviously you got the better of him throughout the fight, but he's still a dangerous guy.
Absolutely. He's very, very dangerous guy. A lot of people also talk after the fight that, he's 35-year-old. He's not in the best shape of his life and stuff. Bro, this guy is, very good shape. He has all the advantage compared to all of these featherweights as well. So I feel like I fought the best Edson. He was explosive, was strong, but I felt like a matrix. I felt like a matrix. I watched my fight a couple of times, and the way I was moving, it was something different. Yeah, I had the time to prepare for these fights, and because I was so well prepared, this was when I was talking that, hey guys, you guys have seen just a little bit of the Giga, so now I'm getting into that mode, in that zone, that people can really see what I'm capable on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To that point, so much is made about your kicking game, Giga, and obviously, rightfully so. You've got incredible kicks. We know about the Giga kick, but you really showed off your hands on Saturday night. I thought that was a lot of fun to watch because people always talk about the kicking, and obviously, again, you do great kicking, but I thought it was fun to watch you showcase your hands and your boxing. Did you enjoy getting to show off a little bit of that more in this fight?
Absolutely. Yes. That's not only the kicking game or my Giga kick, what people think that is only what I have, I have, all the way different tools from the A to Z. And I have hands, elbows, the knees. The people don't know that I had a lot of injuries in this fight. I had the biceps tear, I had meniscus and LCL tear, I had the 3 broken bone in the one of the fist. So that camp was very challenging, as I mentioned. And but first, when I get injured the knee, I thought, okay, I'm gonna finish this fight with the hand. When I broke in the fist, the one of the bone first. Then I thought, okay, I'm gonna finish this fight with the elbow. Then I tear my bicep on a different hand, and then I thought with something else, because I always have some weapons, and I know I can finish everybody with different type of my weapon. So yeah, people have seen now that my arsenal in the game is way different compared to all of those guys together.
Yeah. Obviously, the win streak you've been on is incredible just in general, but the way you've been finishing guys lately, listen, we can't ignore what that means, especially when you rise up in a division like the featherweight division. As you get better and better competition, it gets harder and harder to finish guys. And there's absolutely no shame and going to decision with great fighters. I mean, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. But the fact that you have now, had that quick knockout over Cub Swanson, who's a legend, and then knocking out a guy like Edson Barboza, which again, when you look at his record, there's a very, very small handful of guys that have ever done that. Do you feel like that? Obviously getting a knockout always makes a bigger statement, but you got a knockout over Edson Barboza. That's even bigger.
Yeah, man, definitely. When you finish guy like Edson Barboza, this is a big statement. It's not only just you become the best striker. That definitely there's something not even under question that who's the best striker inside octagon right now. Plus, you become one of the title contender. I believe he's the bigger name. Some of the top 5 guys, most of the top 5 guys in featherweight division. Whatever he's done inside UFC, whatever opponents he beat and he fought, they're all these, like, it's a big resume. And I believe if title fights will be under a question and if they will need replacement, I would be the one of the first guy who they're gonna call.
Yeah, absolutely. To that point, I gotta apologize. I keep making this mistake when I talk about our past interviews. I say you told me for a long time I'm the best striker in the featherweight division. You've said that for a while, but I missed it, and I'm sorry because you've actually said I'm the best striker in the UFC, not just featherweight in the whole UFC. So let me make sure I'm correct on that. It's not just featherweight. You believe you are the best striker. You are the best striker in the entire UFC roster.
I believe I'm the best striker inside the whole martial arts sport right now. Like what I've done in all different sports. I came from the karate background and became the multiple-time national champion, European champion, world champion twice. Then I moved from this sport. I moved from this sport in a kickboxing, and I became 2-time world champion, 2-time European champion. And I'm talking about highest level of the sport. I was fighting Glory. I was beating the people right there. Like everybody was running from me in the organization of Glory, kickboxing. And now I'm in the UFC, and everybody is not accepting the fight against me. Everyone wants to sneak somehow and don't fight me, ignore me. Definitely who's a better striker right now in whole game.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
Is level fighters in striking, like Israel Adesanya is a very good style fighter in striking. There are a couple of more. But whatever I've done on resume with the numbers, there is nobody like me.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick before I move beyond Edson Barboza, one thing I didn't want to forget to mention was you almost didn't get a knockout because you almost got a submission. You were showing off your ground game, and everyone, again, we all like to talk about your striking, and again, I think you've obviously proven that throughout your career. But were you glad you got to show off a little bit of that? I mean, you almost finished the fight by submission, which would have been great. But was it fun to show that you do have that element to your game? Because you were right there. Like I thought it was going to end by submission, but then obviously you ended up getting the knockout instead.
I wanted to finish at some point with submission, but then I realized that what I said that I was going to knock him out. I had him on a very good darts. The first was arm triangle, and then the octagon kind of saved him. We were very close to octagon, and I was gonna hold his leg with my leg so I could finish. But then octagon helped him to defend, and then I switched to darts. When I had him in the darts, I could finish him. But then I realized that I wanted to knock him out. I wanted to finish with a strike. So that's why I let it go. I stand up and finish with the extra 3-piece and soda.
Wow. So you actually thought in your head, hold on, I got the submission, but I wanted to knock him out. You actually thought about that in the fight.
Yeah, I realized that I wanted to finish him with a strike. So that's why I let it go. And as I said, I added some extra 3-piece.
Well, it was an amazing performance. In the aftermath of that, of course, Giga, you built this incredible win streak. I saw your tweet yesterday about the UFC rankings. Now, listen, I'm not a big. I understand why rankings are out there. I think the UFC rankings have some issues, but that's a whole other conversation. But do you still feel like you're not getting the respect you deserve, even though you just went out and knocked out a guy as good as Edson Barboza?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like I was ranked 10 and finished 9, definitely. But what type of name, man? Like, it's Edson Barboza, he knocked down all of his opponents in featherweight. He even knocked down the 10. He knocked down multiple times the Makwani, and he's done the same to the Shane Burgos. So I finished him, man. I finished him. I would strike him. How can they put me just with one more stage on rankings? I'm not top 8. I was hoping to get at least the top 3, and if no top 3, I will at least top 5. So now I'm top 8. I feel like these rankings work different. I feel like I'm the number 1. I feel like I'm the people's champ. So it bothered me for 2 days, but now I don't really care. I know I'm going to get very soon what I deserve and what I want.
Absolutely. To that point, you mentioned after the fight, let's talk about the title fight first. You mentioned, hey, I'll step in as a replacement. We know the world the way it is right now. Things have happened. Obviously, it sounds like that is still the plan if the UFC allows you to do it. Have you heard anything from them? Have you talked to the UFC about, serving as the backup for the title fight coming up in September?
So far, I left Vegas very quick after we talked. I mentioned this to Dana. I mentioned this to Sean, and I left Vegas in LA, and then from LA I fly next day to Georgia. I just arrived. I'm still in a jet lag. I'm in Georgia right now on a seaside at the Black Sea because my kids has been here for 2 months. I have not seen them in a whole camp, and finally I'm here. So now because time frame is this so different, it's like 11-hour difference. I'm gonna have a first talk probably tonight or tomorrow with them. We'll see.
Yeah. Let me ask, just in your opinion, in that fight, if I could, Giga, in the Volkanovski versus Ortega fight, if you don't get to fight one of them next, do you favor one guy over the other in that fight?
Maybe not. These both of them are shorter guys, very strong style. If I wouldn't see Brian's last performance, I would definitely give this fight to Volkanovski. But we've seen how Brian progressed. We've seen his boxing, so he strategy was very good when he fought Zombie, and if I don't know, man, it's a very tough one. I still having Volk in this fight, but I will not be surprised if the Brian gets the job done.
Yeah, it's a great fight and a great matchup. And let me address the other thing you mentioned on Saturday night, which is if you don't get the title fight, which again, we don't know what's going to happen with that yet. So that could still happen in September. Is Max Holloway. And I know this is a guy you've wanted to fight for a long time. You obviously were ready to step in and fight Yair when Max got hurt. And then maybe that would have got you the Max fight. I know you have a lot of respect for Max, but it sounds like this is a fight you really wanted. When you look at the lay of the land in the division, it does make a lot of sense considering the win streak you're on. And I know we've had these conversations before about Yair Rodriguez. Absolutely nothing against him. I'm sure every time I've talked to him, nicest guy in the world, but he's been out for 2 years and it's tough to reward a guy for that when you've been active and obviously you've been, I think you've had your entire win streak while he's been out of action. So, I mean, do you feel like the Max Holloway fight, if you don't get the title fight, do you feel like the Max Holloway fight is very realistic?
I feel like this is a fight what people want to see. He claims that he's the best boxer, and I proved that I'm a best striker. So being a best striker, it includes the title of being a best boxer as well, because striker includes boxing, kicking, everything. So if he really wants to prove it, I'm here. This is a fight which I called earlier, and a lot of people wants to see this fight. I want to see this fight as a fan. This is the same way I wanted to see this fight with Edson. I want to see the fight with Max as well. Yeah, definitely. It's something that people are going to enjoy. They will remember this fight as one of the two hard-headed, great strikers going to fight. And I believe this fight is something that's something to happen one day. So.
Yeah.
I don't think Yair deserves the shot. Hey, Max, I feel like you need to fight me, bro.
Let me ask you, when we talked about Edson before the fight, Edson, and again, you had absolutely nothing but the utmost respect for Edson. And obviously, he was a skilled fighter you had respect for, but you told me very bluntly, I'm a better striker and I'm going to knock him out. That was just your honest assessment of the fight. When you look at Max Holloway, I'm sure you have respect for him. He's a great featherweight, great former champion, all those kind of things. But do you feel the same kind of confidence going into a fight with Max Holloway that you did Edson Barboza?
I'm going to make sure when Max leaves the cage, octagon, he will be on his crutches. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I love the matchup, and like I said, you've kept such a busy schedule. You finally got home to Georgia. Let me ask you. I know you said you will gladly serve as the replacement in September, and if that doesn't happen, hopefully Max Holloway. Can I assume you do want to fight one more time this year?
I would love to fight 2 more times, or even 3. So if UFC keeps me busy, we will be very happy to fight every single month. If I don't have an injury, this is what I do for a living, but also this is my hobby. When people ask me, hey, Giga, what's your hobby? What you do this? What do you do for fun? This is what I do for fun, man. I love this. This is my passion. I enjoy when I don't have a fight coming up, and when I don't have fight scheduled, I can't feel happy. When I have a fight coming up, I have every single morning, and every the night I wake up and go and sleep very happy. So definitely, man, I would love to fight as soon as possible. If they're gonna be the title, Max, or one of the biggest fights for me, I'm all in.
Yeah. So with that being said, I know the focus is title shot or Max, but to stay busy, you are willing to fight. If they offer you another guy, like if they offered you Yair, let's say, I know that's a fight you wanted, or if they offered you another top guy, you would still take it just to make sure you stay busy.
Let's aim to the highest for now, but yeah, definitely, Yair fight also has to happen one day. It's him. Other than that, I'm already in on this fight. I called him out before earlier too, and I feel like I never really trash talk nobody usually, but this time when I called him out, I think that was a little extra salt on it, and I still have not heard anything from him, which upsets me a little bit because I know this guy as a man before, but he didn't say shit, and I was talking a little bit to some salt. So I don't know. I don't know what's his mental, man. If he fights me, if you want, look, he's a ninja too. Look his style. Look how he's fighting. He's all flashy highlight style, and I'm the guy also who stands the same way. So why don't we fight? Why don't we stop worrying about the takedowns and all the bullshit and go and fight each other like another Mortal Kombat fight? But I have an answer. You know what? They all know where I'm standing. They're not gonna accept the fights with me. I don't think even anybody look. I'm gonna have a hard time to get scheduled. Hopefully UFC pushes all those my future opponents to get the fight, get it done, the fight deals, and hopefully this is gonna happen. But I know everybody who will be asked to fight Giga, they will go, guys. They're gonna take long time to answer back.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get one of those. Like I said, I mean, title shot would be great. I personally think the Max Holloway fight makes a lot of sense. The wins you've had, Max is obviously a great fighter in his own right. And again, I have absolutely nothing against Yair Rodriguez. He's a tremendous guy. But again, you can't sit out for 2 years. I think it's almost rewarding him with the Max Holloway fight, whereas I think you've been working towards that. You know, Yair's got other matchups. There's other fights he can have. And then obviously you fight Max. And then again, I think that's a natural for the winner to get the title shot. So hopefully it happens. For now, let me just say congratulations on an amazing win. It was such an incredible performance. Obviously enjoy some time at home with the family in Georgia. And hopefully next time we're speaking is when you got another fight booked and it's either a title shot or Max Holloway.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you always being one of the best in the business.